Dear learners, today we are going to discuss about cardiomyopathy, how it is affected because of stress. When you talk about stress it will obstruct the entire system. It will disturb homeostasis function, especially in the heart. It will disturb entire functional aspect of chambers, distribution, and blackage, and maybe it leads to heart attack. So due to COVID stress, there are a lot of people are left from this world because of cardiomyopathy. These things, if the person is affected cardiomyopathy condition, and due to health condition, it will cope up with COVID stress. Definitely, it will lead life threatening condition. So let us going to discuss about cardiomyopathy, how it is influenced your heart. These things we are going to discuss today session. So during COVID, the COVID it will fight with immunoglobulin. So there is a tough fight between these two things. I mean, COVID virus and immunoglobulin. The most of the people, they are not affected because of COVID, because the person immunoglobulin antigen antibody, it will more stronger than the COVID virus. So most of the people, they will not affect. But some of the people, those who are having already some heart problem, so immediately it will affect and disturb the heart related chambers, and the walls, and blood tubes, and distribution of blood. So during COVID, the immunoglobulin is collapsed. Definitely, the COVID virus is uh, uh, distract heart, lungs, kidney, and other neural damages. Let us go into discuss in detail. The SARS-CoV virus, it mainly affect the alveoli. So once the viruses enter into the lungs, definitely it will collapse the alveolus. So alveoli, once if it is affected, definitely there will be a problem in gas exchange between pulmonary circuit and alveolus. So it leads to very less oxygen supply to your working muscle. So these condition we used to call it as a cardiomyopathy. If there is a insufficient blood circulation to that particular muscle, definitely it leads to heart attack. So once the COVID virus enter into the lungs, definitely there will be a protein-rich fluid is occupied in the alveoli. So if once the protein-rich fluid is enter into this area, definitely there will be a problem of exchanging oxygen from alveoli to blood capillaries, and from blood capillaries. Carbon dioxide may not be elevated from that situation. So it leads to very poor blood supply and nutrient and oxygen supply. So in this condition, mild, moderate, and severe infection may be there. Due to this condition, it leads to cardiomyopathy sometime. So today we are going to discuss about uh, chambers of heart. There are four chambers in our heart. What it will do? Now, what are the chambers? There are two chambers in up, two chambers in down. The upper is atrium, below chamber is ventricle. It is left and right again. And walls. There are four walls of heart. Electrical impulses, there is a conduction system of heart. There is a two electrical node is there. Sinoatrial node, ventricular node, and conduction system of heart. It is regulating how the neural and hormonal is coordinating to regulate the heart function. So when you talk about heart, there is a 12 centimeter long and 9 centimeter wide. The female 250 gram of heart, male having 300 gram of heart, and The heart is located near midline of the thoracic cavity between the lungs, and a heart beats about 35 million beats per year. So left side pump systemic circulation, right side pumps pulmonary circulation. Heart itself, there is a circulation that is called coronary circulation. When you talk about layers of heart walls, there are three layers of heart. The outermost layer is epicardial layer. It will protect the heart. There is a endocardial layer. It will inside the chamber. We used to call it as a endocardial layer. This is the very thin layer, and whereas the myocardial layer, this is actually to receive the impulses from nervous ending, and it is going to regulate and contract and relax because of sinoatrial node and ventricular node. So because of this reason, your heart is working properly. And this is about chamber. There are four chamber. This is one chamber. This is another chamber. This is one. This is one. This is right atria, right ventricle. This is left atria. This is left ventricle. So ventricle is it occupy major portion of your heart, but whereas atrium is very less, because it is going to receive receiving purpose only. But whereas in ventricle, it is going to pump deoxygenated blood to alveoli, oxygenated blood to throughout your body. So the major portion of heart is occupied ventricle only. When you talk about walls of the heart, there are pulmonary wall, which is shown clearly, then aortic wall, then mitral wall, and tricuspid wall. So there are four walls is very very essential. When the heart is working properly, it is indicated that valves are working properly. When valves is not closing and opening properly, there will be a problem. So based on this, it will lead to one kind of cardiomyopathy. So when you talk about walls of the heart, uh, this is uh, this is one wall. This is another kind of wall. This is one more, and at the back side or deep inside there is a atrial wall. Okay, in this picture you can see clearly there is a tricuspid, there is a bicuspid, and atrial wall, atrial opening and receiving the blood. You can able to see the bundle of his Purkinje fiber. Because of this Purkinje fiber and bundle of his only, your heart is capable of pumping, contracting and relaxing. Relaxing, it will receive the blood from atria to ventricle. When it is full, definitely it is going to contract in this way. So it will pump forcefully the blood to the working muscle. So this is the walls of the heart. So you can able to see this is pulmonary wall, this is deep inside aortic wall, this is bicuspid, this is tricuspid, so that you can able to see the differentiation and location of the all the valves. There are four valves is there. The conduction system of heart, there is a already explained. Yes, a sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node. Sinoatrial node is located in the left atria, right atria, and atrioventricular node present in the septum, atrioventricular septum. So bundle of is the once the myocardial layer received impulses, immediately it will pass the electrical impulses to the it will receive a sinoatrial node, and then it will pass in this way. Both chamber is controlled SA node, and remaining electrical impulses pass to the atrioventricular node. Once it is received, it will pass the electrical impulses. The bundle of is followed by there will be a Purkinje fiber which is connected with your myocardial layer. Again, it will see based on your neural information, it will contract and relax. So when it is relaxed, it will receive the atrial blood to the ventricle. and when it is compressed, it will pass the blood. One side it will pass the uh, respiratory tract, another side is systemic circulation, and one more circulation is heart itself. You need one more specific circulation, that is cardiac circulation. So in this way, it will receive the electrical pulses pass to the AV node. AV node, it will pass the remaining electrical pulses to control the heart function. So electrical impulses, it will pass and it will receive and execute. It will receive and execute. So this, in this way, your heart is working 24 hours, not only 24 hours, right from your mother womb. At the end of your lifespan, I mean minute, it will work continuously without any rest. So normal heart, it will pump the blood like this. Uh, so receiving, filling and ejecting, filling and receiving, ejecting. So it is a continuous process. There is no stop and there is no starting. There is no ending. It will continuously receive deoxygenated blood one side, another side it will pump the blood to the working muscle. So, cardiorespiratory system, when you talk about lungs and when you talk about cardiorespiratory system, lungs and heart has to function together. Then only it will be a fruitful one. Otherwise, there will be a hypovolemic problem to your heart, lungs, and working muscles. So in this way, your lung has to supply oxygen. It will enter into left ventricle, then pass to the blood to overall body, and again it will supply oxygen to the working muscle, and it carries carbon dioxide, and it will enter into the right atria. Then again it will pass to the lungs. This is a cyclic process where the lungs and heart, it will work together, then only you will be alive, otherwise it leads to some condition. Cardiomyopathy, it is nothing but functional abnormalities of the heart muscle. So once if your heart muscle is working very fast or very slow, again it is a very big problem for the I mean working muscle. Heart muscle has become enlarged or thickened or rigged. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. So kinds of cardiomyopathy: hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, dilated cardiomyopathy, restricted cardiomyopathy, arrhythmogenic cardiomyopathy. Hypertrophic is nothing but heart muscle get expand, so that refilling nature will be differ. So very less blood supply to the working muscle. So this is first condition and very important condition of cardiomyopathy. Dilated means it will expand more, and the left ventricle is get very enlarged, so that there will be no pressure when eject the blood to your working muscle. Restrictive, it is nothing but the heart walls and chambers, it will not work properly, so that there will be no ejection of blood and receiving the blood. Rhythmic problem is, it is due to SA node, AV node problem, and the chamber occupied lipid in the chamber, so that there will be again problem. These kind of cardiomyopathy we are going to discuss one by one. So this is a healthy heart, how it will receive the blood. The blue color shows deoxygenated blood, red color shows oxygenated blood. It will supply continuously without any delay. So first thing is dilated cardiomyopathy. The left ventricle is going to expand more and more, so that there will be no proper blood supply to the working muscle. So this is the first condition of cardiomyopathy. It leads to heart attack. Okay, so second condition is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Here it will expand. Here the heart muscle will be more dominating the chamber, so that refilling nature is very poor and ejecting nature also very poor. So working muscle need more blood supply, so that water will be supplied, nutrition will be supplied, and other unwanted material it will take out through circulation. Once if it is disturbed, again there is a problem in the heart. So this is second kind of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And third one is restrictive cardiomyopathy. The chamber, the SA node, AV node, everything is collapsed. Why? Due to electrical impulses or some other reason, or overstressed, or over infected, or any other reason may be affected this condition. It will not supply. I mean, it will not eject the blood properly or receiving the blood properly. This is third condition of cardiomyopathy, that is called restrictive cardiomyopathy. And fourth one is rhythmic changes in the cardiomyopathy. So why it has happened, in the myocardial layer and innermost layer, it will affect because of the lipid status in the chamber, so that again it will be very problematic one. So because of these four reasons, it will affect your heart, it will leads to heart attack due to over stress, or already disease condition. If you have the once the viruses have enter into the body, definitely either one kind of cardiomyopathy it will affect and leads to heart attack. So hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, the hypertrophic means the wall may be more thickened than a normal one. So the left ventricle, I mean empty space is very less. So very less empty space, it will receive very less blood in the left ventricle. So it will supply very low blood to the working muscle. So it leads to hypervolumic circulation. So definitely it leads to heart attack. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, see, you can see the nature. When the chamber is obstructed, or the wall thickening is more and more, definitely blood will be very less, and ejecting nature also very less. So due to overstress, or over training, or over anything, if you add over and beyond your limitation, definitely leads to left ventricular outflow tract will be very low, so that it leads to heart attack. And sudden cardiac death in the hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, it's due to isolated myofilament mutation, family history of sudden death, unexplained syncope or stress, outflow obstruction, so flow will be very low, abnormal exercise blood pressure response. This is very important. Due to COVID stress, there are many people are left from this world because of the overstressed and over exercise leads to cardiomyopathy. Severity of left ventricle hypertrophy. So these are all conditions. It leads to death in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So dilated cardiomyopathy, it's very simple. Previous one is very restricted, but here one is the left ventricle may be very larger base, it will expand, so that refilling nature also it is not sufficient. When it is ejected, very less pressure will be there, so that it will not reach the working muscle. Whereas in the calf and I mean calf muscle, hamstring muscle, and thigh muscle, so that it leads again a big problem and life threatening problem during your exercise. So it leads to again cardiomyopathy, that is called a dilated, insufficient oxygen supply, water supply, and blood supply, so it leads to heart attack. And dilated cardiomyopathy, weak heart. So heart will be very to expand more and more. So, what is the dilated cardiomyopathy? There are many reasons. These are all the reasons, that disc protein, calcium handling protein, nuclear proteins, ion channel proteins, transcription factors, mitochondrial protein. So these are all because of the protein level which is stuck in the ventricular wall stiffness, wall thinning, ventricular chamber enlargement, industrial fibrosis, enlarged nuclei and inflammation. Due to this reason, dilated cardiomyopathy will be occur, and it leads to heart attack without any notice, because it is suddenly the heart muscle, left ventricular muscle, it will get dilated, and it won't supply any blood to the working muscle. So again, it leads to heart attack. So dilated cardiomyopathy, there are many number of reasons: genetic, infection, systemic immune mediated disease, toxic oriented overuse of drug, endocrine metabolic disorder. These are all the reason why the dilated cardiomyopathy is started. So over use of drug, systemic immune and genetic infection, and endocrinal secretion will be very poor or will be very high. So it leads to dilated cardiomyopathy. So restricted is very simplest one. The SI node, AV node, and bundle of is Purkinje fiber chambers, it will not react that much, because it will be very poor condition. It lost its elastic nature, so that it won't contract and relax. So there will be a very poor blood supply to the working muscle. So restricted cardiomyopathy, amylodialysis, sarco, sarcoidosis, these are all the reason why the restrictive cardiomyopathy will happen. See, stiff cardiac muscle, non-compliant, or so it's a restrictive heart muscle. So heart muscle, it will not cope up with your normal working condition, or it will not supply much blood for the working muscle. So arrhythmic rhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy. Right, see, left ventricle, this one is left ventricle, this one is right ventricle. The rhythmic may be changed due to over obstruction of cholesterol in the chamber. So it will not receive properly the deoxygenated blood and supply to pulmonary circuit. Finally, it will not reach to the alveolus. So there will be no oxygen exchange, carbon dioxide exchange. So because of this reason, hypoxia may be occur. Because of hypoxia, it leads to life-threatening disease. Okay, arrhythmic right ventricular cardiomyopathy is very dangerous, because see, in this picture already I told you, there will be a fatty replacement of heart muscle. The heart muscle may not be working because the over deposition of fatty acid, fat and the myocardial layer, so that the heart may not be working properly. So in this condition, if you do any kind of exercise, definitely it leads to a heart attack. So during in this condition, we have to do some remedy. Then we can go for a mild, moderate, and severe exercise. But people are may not be knowing all this condition. They'll go for high intensity exercise. Definitely, it leads to sudden heart attack. This has happened recent days. Many uh, uh, political and actors are defeated because of this reason. Without knowing their body condition, if they do some vigorous exercise, it leads to rhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy. So cardiomyopathy is two types, the primary cardiomyopathy and secondary cardiomyopathy. Primary cardiomyopathy, the cardiomyopathy develops by itself. The heart itself, there is a problem. And secondary cardiomyopathy develops to compensate for underlying disease because of hypertension, valve disease, chamber disease, distributive disease. If it is happened, definitely there will be a problem of ejecting the blood from left and right ventricle. So if it is not sufficiently circulated, definitely there will be a stagnant blood in the system, all the system. So what to do in future? Health, we have to give a strengthen to the inner system, healthier and stronger internal system. We have to go for a moderate and I mean the starting. So stronger internal system means you have to go for a regular based exercise, a regular scientific based of exercise with a gradual increase of intensity. So your system is more healthier, and more than that, it will be more stronger whenever the obstacle is started. So better homeostasis function we have to develop everyday activities. We have to reduce our stress, and we have to cooperate. We have to get coordination from entire system. That is called homeostasis function. The psychosomatic coordination is very very essential. Whenever you do any kind of action or reaction, we have to coordinate mind and body. Without mind cooperation, it is not possible of doing your exercise with your physical. So without physical, you cannot do your mental attitude. So this mind and body has to coordinate properly. And final one is, fourth one is neuroendocrine coordination. Neuroendocrine coordination, nervous system and endocrine system has to combine together and make your psychosomatic and better homeostasis and a stronger internal system. So, among all those things, neuroendocrine is very, very essential. When you concentrate, when you plan your exercise, you have to concentrate all these four aspect, then only it will be fruitful one. Otherwise it leads to a wrong direction of your heart functional unit. Thank you very much.